So this game could potentially, like, this is a very snowbally lineup from them, and we could potentially have 20-25 minute game.
Yeah, so we'll see what time the game ends, how quickly this one's going to roll here for the side of Gaimin Gladiators or Ooredoo Thunders, and well, we'll see if you know, these teams can get it done. Who's going to be the best team in this game? And we had Noob talking about the new patch, so I think we're going to take a quick listen at what he had to say about what's going on in the game so far.
I think the new patch doesn't really affect us much. It's not giving anything positive nor negative because everyone was playing the same patch, so everything is gonna do the same stuff. Some heroes got nerfed a lot, like Lina and Riki, I think, but mostly it's gonna be the same drafts, same strategies, everything's the same.
So pretty much nothing's changed.
Yeah, 2 heroes nerfed, and that's about it. I mean, he's not wrong. A lot of these numbers are just there.
-5.
-5 plus 10 damage talent.
Okay.
Nothing significant in terms of change. And yeah, Gaimin Gladiators, they want to go, but Omar saying, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we are 4 currently. Noob is still missing in action. To talk more about the drafts, OT, their draft is, I'd say, relatively easy to execute.
Right.
Because you always have heroes to play, like Snap. This is going to be offlane Snapfire. Nefertu is going to play it. He's the player that played in a lot of these Division 2 teams, like Tier 2 Dota, pretty much. Played some time in Brame. Namiga as well. I think these are the 2 best teams that he played with. And, you know, still needs to make a name for himself. Like, this could be potentially a big debut playing against the major winners. Snapfire, one of the heroes that does tend to put a lot of pressure, especially when playing against melee heroes. But then again, there's going to be so much sustain in this lane. Io plus Abba. You know that these heroes want to take a fight. Like, they just want to trade in the lane.
Yeah, it feels like Duraccio is going to be trying to play really aggressive with this hero. I'm not too familiar with Abba safe lane, you know, what you're trying to accomplish, and when's like the timings here for a hero like this? Are you looking to fight just level 6, or is it like a certain item point for this hero?
Farm up, get the Radiance going, the overtime damage. They don't have like break mechanic yet. They can't really burst you. So that's going to be a good thing. Radiance, of course, it got buffed. The cost down by 350. And also Abba got buffed. The base attack time improved from 1.7 to 1.5.
We've got Celery's webcam up, and he has just been giggling the entire pause. It's something that really I've noticed about Gaimin Gladiators. I feel like I look at their webcams during like the Major, during last tour, and they all seem pretty high spirit, relaxed, laughing.
I don't know if you noticed, they won the Major, so you would not expect them to be, you know, in a bad mood. But yeah, something about Celery. Celery is just a very chill, very Dutch guy, I would say. You know, I want to accomplish his Zen. Like, this is how Zen I want to be in life.
Yeah, just smiling at all times, very calm. Be the Celery way of gaming. I feel like that's very green. So we'll see what happens as we get these bounty runes picked up finally as this game continues after the DC. And on the Drow, it's TA2000, also known as Naif. And he had, I remember back at Epicenter a long time ago when he stood in for Empire, and this guy was like the TA master.
He is very, very good at playing these ranged carries.
Yeah.
That's kind of his niche. First stun, misses. Saving all the good stuns for later.
That's how it's done. You gotta like grow the karma, grow the positive stuns and the hits, and then use it at the end. Hopefully. I like how top Duraccio was throwing the Aphotic Shield onto Celery, and it's like, you know, he's probably gonna take a majority of that aggression, and it's like, all right, cool, go after him. I'll put a shield. You'll get damaged. See, I'm really interested to see if they can kill these heroes once they get like level 2, level 3. Going on for Gaimin Gladiators up top, but like, what's for you the most interesting lane? Like, where's the bloodbath coming from?
I'm looking at this bottom lane where Ace and Tofu are going to be playing Undying. It's an Undying lane. They didn't pull anything. These heroes don't have much HP to work with. You see 12 DK make it 16,
Ooh,
400
yeah.
HP on Marcy. He's even starting with the sidekick and Blades of Attack. Wants to be able to get as much damage and as much sustain in this lane. He understands that this constant harassment from both Kaori and the TA2000 will bring him relatively low, but definitely a lane to look out for. This is extremely strong lane coming on from OT, where Undying tanks, soaks up all the damage pretty much, and then TA2000 should be having a complete free farm, as you already see, sitting at 7 and 6 at the moment.
Yeah, so it feels like maybe they're going to be waiting on, say, Quinn to come over and maybe even rotate to try and get, like, a good fight, get the tower, early push on into the tier 1 tower. We've seen that sometimes where, like, Quinn will TP to the bottom lane with Leshrac, and then they'll set up a fight, and I think they definitely have the heroes to kind of get that done. If you catch TA2000 out of lane, you get a bushwhack, and it would dispose. All of a sudden, if Quinn's there, you land another stun, and you've probably got yourself a kill in the making. Top, we see Celery tether back to the range creep as Dyrachyo, like you said, this is a very sustainable lane, and he's just here on the tier 2
Dyrachyo
tower.
is insanely aggressive carry player. He tends to go for an extra wave. Let's see the healing coming out from him.
Yeah, they've got the Aphotic Shield that bursts on Omar and Nefrit, and the right click's coming in. All of a sudden, you need a cookie to get away. Just unable to kill these heroes, and they're outputting a good amount of damage.
He's also starting with the Boots of Speed, gets that extra movement speed from Curse of the Avernus as well, so gotta be very careful. Omar does have Boots of Speed on his Tusk, and look at how aggressive they're playing here.
Yeah, they really want to go forward. Dyrachyo, again, right-clicking onto Omar and Nefrit, and he was one shot away from having that Curse of Avernus on him. Top lane, it's 6 CS right now for this Snapfire.
And 4 CS for Marcy. That's the big one.
Yeah.
Drow Ranger sitting at 12 denies. TA2000.
Right click's coming in, the Curse of Avernus, and they're just going to run down under the tower. Like, he throws the shards out, the Aphotic Shield pops, they
Get
can
him
kill
as
an
well.
Nefrit, and they're going to get Omar too. Tag team or not, you're probably dead. Now Celery knows he's going to die to the tower, so he just goes down. He'll come back full health, full mana, and with nobody around, that's a well worth death.
Most definitely. He knows that there's not going to be anyone to pick up any kind of experience there, so Dice will bring some items for Dyrachyo. Dyrachyo, meanwhile, getting the solo XP, but this bottom lane, 21 and 12 on TA2000.
Yeah, so you're not going to believe me when I say the first part of this sentence, but yesterday I was watching CTY in a pro game. It was Open Qualifiers. It was the current year. And, you know, he had a lot of denies. You know, the master of CS.
What did he play?
And he was
it
playing
Anti-Mage?
he was playing Troll Warlord, and he had like 20 denies in the first few minutes. I was like, oh my god. They managed to lose both games, but, you know, he looked good in the laning phase, and...
That's what matters. So someone picks you up as a teammate. They're like, yeah, this man's really good at laning. Nefrit now in trouble. Doesn't have a cookie. One more hit.
Yeah, Curse
Extra
of Avernus
slow.
again. So now you're silenced. You can't cookie away. Like, this is such a dangerous lane to play into.
Dyrachyo even put a second point in Curse.
Oh, boy. That's not going to be fun to deal with. They get the Undying Ace, though. Body blocks from Tofu, trying to keep him off the Marcy. Yeah, there it is. Finally, getting the kill on to Marcy. It took a little bit of shimmying around the trees, but get that vision to get that last hit, and ends up being a trade.
These are not good trades for Gaimin Gladiators, at least this one, where Drow Ranger gets the solo XP. Once she gets close to level 6 and gets that level 6, this lane becomes, I'd say, unplayable, especially if she's full HP. Look at that damage now.
Yeah, Tofu needed to be careful, but the sidekick comes out. Now
Oh, no.
Bushwhack into the dispose, and Corey, well, just as quickly as he TP'd into the lane, you're dead back in the grave and back into the base.
Oh, this is a rough one. This is how you ruin the perfect lane for TA2000, who's on top of CS, 29 and 15. Now Leshrac taking over.
Yeah, Quinn, no surprise, feels like it's his golden hero, right? Like, every time we see him on the Leshrac, he is dominating not only the lane, but the game.
Pretty much. And this time around, he does have Celery to play with. And look at Gaimin Gladiators. They're playing so aggressively immediately. They know that there is no TP available on Kaori. Kaori is even going on mid lane.
Yeah,
okay, they want to make something
too.
happen. Noob's still level 5. Quinn is level 6, so might go for a solo kill.
Waning Rift, Pulse Nova going, and they get the decay, but they've got the snowball coming over from the side from Omar. There's the tether from Celery. Quinn lands a stun, but he's still going to die. Might be well, the trade only stopping the salve, so that's not going to go exactly perfectly, but they do eventually get Noob with Tofu coming over from the bottom lane. Still even thinking about going for the Undying. Both mids dying in that exchange, but in weird different areas.
If they had another Fairy Fire or another Stick Charge, could have been a disaster for OT. And we already see double rotation, both supports from Gaimin Gladiators. They know how to rotate, leaving Duracho here.
He knows
one
that he's
versus
safe
one.
with
Yeah, they like this hero just doesn't die, especially when he gets close to level 6, unless they bring the numbers. And speaking of numbers, this is going to be a third hero.
Yeah, that's what you need. And Duracho, like, it's unfortunate, but that's what needs to happen for Ooredoo Thunders. That's the only way he's dying in that lane.
Or if he does a classic Duracho move, decides to dive tier 2 tower. Look at how aggressive Gaimin Gladiators are playing. Right now, they've been underneath the tier 2 tower. Noob does have coil available.
Yeah, didn't end up using it in the top lane. They had the snowball follow-up. They were fine. Bushwhack ends on 2. Acorn shot and the stun. Look how quickly Noob just dies. Quinn gets the kill, the snowball. Well, Omar, one more right click from Quinn, and that's going to be a double. They chose to look to take that engagement, and they pay for it dearly.
They wanted to separate the lanes, play a bit more aggressive on the mid lane. Which,
look at where they
and
are
now
again.
Nefret, he looks very dead. Those bushwhacks from Tofu, really on point.
Yeah, it's under the tower. It doesn't matter. Gaimin Gladiators just... I think they think their side of the map is the entirety of the map because everybody's playing past the towers. This is insane.
They planted the deep observer ward. Quinn playing behind enemy lines one more time. He sees any kind of rotation coming out with this deep ward, which I think should be dewarded. They already placed one sentry behind the tier 2 tower because how aggressive Gaimin Gladiators played. And now that they forced the movement from enemy heroes to the top part of the map, Ace can get some free farm on the bottom lane, just hits level 6, and now this free farm Drow Ranger also forced to get out of the lane. So if they rotate, if she shows up on the lane, they rotate one hero, Drow Ranger's just gonna die.
Yeah, gotta be careful. Comes down here to multi-shot and pushing Ace away for a moment. But again, Duracho feeling safe over top. He's holding a point just in case he needs that borrowed time. Something similar to what we see with the Rage.
I don't think I've seen this. I don't remember. Like, I watch a lot of Dota, and I have not seen team play so aggressively behind enemy towers 6 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they're really confident. And Noob, he's trying to do the same thing, but I feel like it's more in fear that he's running behind the tier 1 tower. And eventually, he will drop to Quinn, who's now on a killing spree.
He's like, guys, it's really working out for Gaimin Gladiators. We should also play behind towers.
And take a look at those odds brought to you by esportsbet.io, and it's already Gaimin Gladiators 1.09. This is definitely favoring Gaimin Gladiators at the moment. They're going to bring 3 heroes down bottom again to go after Ace. And they did the same to go for top and get that kill, but now Ace trying to swipe
three-man
the bushwhack. Oh my god, Tofu! Ace, no way he survives this. He's trying to get the kill on a TA-2000 and eventually falls, but Tofu giving him all the time in the world to try and get more than just one kill. It looks like eventually Tofu should die, but another
no
bushwhack
mana
that
for
holds him
DK.
in place. Back over in the fight, they've got a Dream Coil down on a Celery, but there's no follow-up on this. They relocated into the fight. Quinn was trying to at least help out Tofu and get a kill, but nobody else dies.
What a beautiful play. Tofu, he's all over the place, involved in 8 out of 10 kills. He landed a 2-man bushwhack near the enemy triangle and now hits 3 heroes. If they had another rotate, like this is Io, who's level 6.5. Before 10-minute mark, Tofu needs 1 CS, 1 experience to get himself to level 6. So once you buy a tome, and it seems like Tofu's going to be the one buying it, you have Sharpshooter, and he's going to be almost level 7.
Yeah, so he's already ready for it. He's gone 2-2-1-1. So we'll see, you know, as he gets this bushwhack higher. When it ends up being 2.4 seconds, if he's landing that on the entirety of the team, I think the fight's just over. He is really having a lot of presence felt for just a squirrel. They kind of run through their day kind of unknown. In this game, that's not the case. Duracio's safe to free farm up top again, still just free to do whatever he wants, and there's really nobody stopping him. Nefret's showing himself every now and then, but you see Duracho just runs forward, and then there's the withdrawal back from that Snapfire. Actually going towards mid, they're bringing 4 heroes over. They've got the Dream Coil back off cooldown, and look at the damage coming into Quinn. They finally get a kill there onto this Leshrac, and Duracho TP's into the Mortar.
He's in trouble. He's very dead
here.
here.
To borrow time immediately, and they've got the multi-shot. That's probably not according to plan, because 5 heroes are there. You had the free lane, and instead you TP'd mid and died.
OT, they are not messing around. They brought every single member.
Bushwhack?
Another bushwhack. This should reveal the high ground ward. Let's see if Corey dewards it immediately. He does.
Ooh, deny. Ooh.
He misclicked.
Yeah,
he attacked the sentry.
If he had gotten the deny there, I don't know if I could compliment Tofu anymore. He's just been doing everything.
You can always talk about his beautiful hair.
True. That is very true. I'm trying to replicate it, but I just don't think it's
It's not working out, no.
Yeah. So you've got Ace going into the BKB, obviously a different build than what you see to the safe lane Marcy that goes into the Battle Fury, but straight BKB. We know that Marcy's can be tough straight off the Unleash, and well, I'm not surprised to see that Ace now going after Omar, has the help from Tofu, and they'll get the kill there onto the Tusk down bottom.
A bit of a different build from what we see, especially in China. Previous DPC tour, offlane Marcy was very popular, going for Armlet most of the time.
Yeah.
Some Marcys were going for Rush BKB. But once you pick up a BKB, you really don't care about any of these abilities. So one of the reasons why Ace is rushing it, other than a punch, but you also don't care too much about it. 12-minute Bloodstone, finished on Quinn. It's time to go. They want to take a fight. They want to take this tier 1 tower on a mid lane. Maybe even rotate to the bottom. But seeing what they're drawing on a minimap, playing behind enemy tower one more time, I see different drawings on a minimap. It seems like they want to do a full circle. At least that's what Quinn wants to do.
Yeah, we'll see where they go. I was expecting maybe Quinn to come down bottom earlier to get that tower. And I know he came down with the relocate when that fight was going on, and they ended up losing Ace eventually. But I still was expecting him to kind of maybe put the pressure onto the tower as early as maybe like 8-9 minutes. Dyrachyo getting chased. He's got the borrowed time. Eventually, he'll just pop that himself. Snowball coming in as well as the shards. That'll block him in. And now they've got the Mortimer's Kisses, and you look at the damage coming out. It's a lot real quick onto the Abaddon. They also find a follow-up on a Tofu with Waning Rift. They've got the Illusory Orb, and one more right click will do it. Even dropping the Dream Coil, which is probably unnecessary.
He did not want to risk it. The missed chance from the squirrel inside the trees. That's how Tofu managed to survive that one extra miss hit near the bottom lane. And OT bringing numbers, making this game pretty equal at the moment. 1K gold lead for Gaimin Gladiators. So they are the ones making the moves. On Snapfire, so that's going to be some extra tankiness. Drow Rangers really farmed. TA 2000 almost has 4 staff. Full pike finished in another minute, going into Shard, wants to be able to reduce that healing, so that's going to be a big timing for Drow Ranger. So far, he did not die, sitting at 2-0 and 2, and they're also stacking the triangle for him.
Not that it was under the radar, but the way that he moved out of the lane and then it felt like Ace was going to have that open bottom, I didn't really expect Drow to be where TA 2000 is right now, and for where Dyrachyo is in comparison. Like, Dyrachyo felt like he had a free lane. Now he's died a couple times in a row, and all of a sudden, what felt like could be a quick Radiance is, you know, not the best timing.
This is going to be, like, 17-minute Radiance if he doesn't die an extra time.
Yeah,
but big difference.
Game already.
Yeah, lowest net worth core at the moment.
And we'll see if it gets any easier. They do have Quinn stand at the top, which is no surprise with the way he's been playing thus far. He still has 2 deaths himself, but overall, I would say he's made some high-impact moves in this game. They'll look over, they'll try to get Ace. He's already got a BKB, so he'll go into the Unleash, unable to get the kill there onto the Undying thanks to the blocking of the shards, but he'll rebound out of the high ground, get the kill to Omar. They'll look over for the Undying, miss the stun, and he'll be able to TP out, so it's just 1 kill for the side of Gaimin Gladiators as they continue to play across the river.
First usage of the BKB, they definitely wanted to get more. Ace gets stuck. As we said, there isn't many abilities that go through Magic Immunity unless there's a Drow Ranger. This Marcy during the BKB definitely not dying.
Yeah, you pop the BKB, pop the Unleash, and all of a sudden you need to be careful about what kind of right clicks you're allowing to hit you. While that's all going on, you do have Nefrit finally getting a lane to himself where he's able to farm up. He's close to those Guardian Greaves, and quite honestly, the fact that his lane was so hard to deal with, but he's still above the Abaddon. Like, it's kind of surprising. I'm really shocked about where Dyrachyo's at, and Celery's going to die inside the trees.
Kaori, very interesting build. I think it's time to go for Roche because tag team is maxed out. They're also going to have illusion rune, so you can dodge some of the spells. And I don't know if they can contest this. This Roshan's going to drop down immediately. It's already down to half HP. Gaimin Gladiators, they can't react to this. Very nice move, and also interesting build from Kaori. He's the one maxing out the Soul Rip, wants to be able to get more heals done in a team fight, wants to be able to match this healing coming out from Gaimin Gladiators.
So first Aegis, not sure everybody had that in their prediction book where Ooredoo Thunders were going to take the first Roche based on the laning phase, but here we are. And they are keeping this game pretty competitive at the moment. And
they're doing a really good job at the moment, just not allowing Gaimin Gladiators to snowball with their lineup. The first aggression that was supposed to come with the Bloodstone never really came. Now Abba, he's the one that picked up Radiance. Let's see if they decide to take a fight. If they want to fight into this Drow Ranger, who's level 12, so that's level 2 marksmanship. Going into BKB next, Pike done, plus a shard being delivered on Courier.
So Tier 2000 moving forward with Omar, multi-shot into the trees. I don't have anybody rotating on the side of Gaimin Gladiators at all. And Ooredoo Thunders, they're kind of taking a page out of the playbook of Gaimin Gladiators with where they're playing. All 5 heroes are in the jungle at the moment. Or, well, sorry, 4 heroes are at the jungle in the moment with Noob now going bottom. And, you know, when you're playing that aggressive, I don't know if Gaimin Gladiators feel comfortable enough to make a move to try and defend or play aggressive in their own jungle at the moment. They don't exactly have vision to see where Ooredoo Thunders are.
Yeah. And Ooredoo Thunders, they want to take these fights. Like, they have 2 big items. This is the Pike plus Shard on Drow Ranger that we mentioned, and also Noob picked up a Blink Dagger. So his initiation is going to be much easier if he lands Coil on 2 people, Snapfire with ulti. It's always going to be really good follow-up. So in this game, pre-BKBs, like before they buy him or after they use him, Snapfire plus Coil is always going to be good. Yeah. Even Omar managed to get some farm, found enough money to farm up his Blink Dagger. But the most important thing that we did not mention is Brigand's Blade on Marcy. This is GG. This is literally game over. Once you pick up that item, and I believe that's a Basher coming out to him.
Brigand's Blade feels strong on a bunch of heroes. And we'll see how strong it is here for Ace, as he's got that Basher, like you said. They're coming over. One of the things that I've noticed, which is a little bit unfortunate, the sentry that's right by the steps for Gaimin Gladiators just doesn't reach this ward on the high ground by the steps. So they're going to come over. They've smoked up. They're going all the way around. Can they find anybody? They're going to find Omar, and, well, he'll go in with a Walrus Punch and start off like that. Over to the side, though, Ace pops the BKB, goes to the Unleash, and T2000's just going to run away from him. So the entirety of his BKB is going to be on chasing that Drow and not laying a scratch on that Drow Ranger. So Narachio needs to run. The Aphotic Shield gets popped. He now has the Borrowed Time going off as well. They're going to go back to this relocate area, and Noob's actually going to be over by 3 heroes on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Illusory Orb with the phase shift, he's able to walk away, and the fact that nobody dies in this situation is a little bit...
Celery's going to die. He's the one who saved him with relocate, so someone has to die in the end. He tried to go on a Drow Ranger who still had Aegis for full 2.5 minutes before that fight, so Ace will need to choose his target a bit more carefully next time around. He's very strong once he uses Unleash, Basher plus a BKB. These are the items pretty much that you need. There's also BKB on Lesh that he didn't use, so they might be able to take another fight once the Aegis expires and the BKB is up.
Warner's Kiss is right on top of Tofu. They get the kill on the Hoodwink, so Nefert gets credit for that one, and Narachio immediately having that Aphotic Shield popped. Borrowed Time just coming off cooldown, and now he'll TP away, but the cookie lands. They'll stop the TP, and this is looking like another kill on the Abaddon. And the game, net worth-wise, is even.
OT, with all the right moves, pretty much. They're playing the map so quickly, not allowing Gaimin Gladiators to group up. And also that positioning from Omar to be able to break the smoke, instantly goes on Io. As you said, like, no one's dying, but they did manage to stay in the fight long enough. And also one thing that we did mention is Soul Rip maxed out. He's the one holding Philosopher's Stone on Undying. So Kaori having a Holy Locket as well. Extra region, extra healing coming out. For most likely, it's going to be used on Drow Ranger. And for the next fight, TA2000, once Aegis expires, we'll have a BKB available.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see if Gaimin Gladiators can kind of recover where the game state is with how fast Ooredoo Thunders and how well they're playing the map at the moment. You know, a lot of people maybe after the first series for OT might have written them off after they got 2-0'd by Monaspa, and well, here we are, major champions, and they're keeping it respectfully close. I mean, we all saw the odds halfway through this game so far. If people are expecting it to just go by the wayside, well, it would have been wrong. Now the odds actually favoring Ooredoo Thunders. I mean, that is...
I'd say the same thing. I feel like this Drow Ranger could easily take over the game because he's been farming up extremely fast, and I like the item build that he's going for. BKB into Scotty next. Scotty against Abba, against Leshrac, healing from Io. This is going to be massive, unless they can find somehow a jump on this Drow Ranger. But then again, there is a snowball save, soul rip, cookie, force staff, so many things that they can save people with. It's got to be all about the execution. Like, even Quinn is picking up a blink dagger, so you will have eventually 3 cores with BKBs and blinks that can jump on top of Drow Ranger, try to close the gap.
Yeah, maybe not so fortunate like the fight we saw up towards top, right? Where Ace pops that BKB, tries to rebound in, and all of a sudden it's Cookie and Force Staff. You can't catch the Drow. So if they have some backup to that, maybe they'll get their hands on that Drow. And you could see the Dota Plus win probability 51% to 49% in favor.
Does not want to be too biased. Does not also want to give us 50-50. So let's just give extra 1% to OT.
Yeah, not giving us a Dota Plus curse or anything like that. No bias here.
Dota Plus still didn't update Abaddon carry, so we don't know how Dota Plus thinks how strong this hero is. And looking at the skill build on Duraccio, is he did not pick up any points in Mistcoil. Wants to be more tanky, getting stats instead, going into Manta style next. So this is going to be his way of farming, and also his way of pushing the waves. This is something, I'm not sure who first invented it, but when you talk about carry Abba with Radiance, K1 comes to my mind.
Yeah, K1 Hector. Is there anybody else you think, or just him?
I mean, it has been played a couple of years back, but he's the one who's been pretty much spamming it, even when it was not as popular. Nefrit, in a good spot to break the smoke.
Yeah, but he gets disposed. Force Staff,
Wrong
Cookie
way.
back in the same direction. Bushwhack technically misses, but they're going to land the stun from Quinn. He'll pop the mech, he'll try to survive, but that's not happening. Where now Ace is on a dominating spree. Those shards don't block out Ace, but it does block the rest of his team from getting up out of the high ground. At least from those steps, and now they're going to pop the ult. Corey, over to the side, look for the Walrus Punch. Right click's coming in from the Drow. They go
Good positioning from TA2000.
Backline, they've got themselves the Dream Coil. They get the kill on Ace. They'll take out this Marcy. They'll get the kill on a Tofu. And now Celery, Duraccio, what can they do? They get themselves the kill on the Undying, but they're going to lose this IO. So now 3 heroes dead on the side of Gaimin Gladiators with the borrowed
He's
time
not
running
getting out of this
There's
one.
no more sand to the hourglass for you, and there's no more life in your health bar either.
Man, TA2000, his positioning has been mastered here so far. Level 18, and a bit of a lag. Not sure if it is lag, but you know, it's a good time to pause. You win a good team fight, and also Undying on Undying with the Tombstone, providing vision. He dropped it on the high ground. They kind of dove behind enemy lines, and TA2000 was sitting on the low ground. Multi-shot with that level 15 talent, which he used multiple times, and we're going to see that again. Ace doesn't get anything done, gets snowballed and immediately deleted.
2 supports on the backlines dealing with Noob as well as Corey. Like, that was a big issue for them too. You don't have yourself Tofu, you don't have much life left in Celery, so you lose a lot of this fight with the 2-pronged attack coming in from Ooredoo Thunders. So really well done for them and by them to figure out who really the primary targets are for each hero.
They don't have enough to lock down Puck. That's one of the problems. Maybe with Abba, with Manta style, he could get potentially surprised by the silence. But you need either Bushwhack, you need Rebound, Dispose, which is a bit more difficult to execute, or Leshrac Stun, which is also kind of a tough now that the phase shift is maxed out. And now Puck, very tanky with this Kaya Sanj build, has Regeneration Rune. Next, Roshan, full 3 minutes until he respawns.
And Duraccio still just towards the bottom of the core list. He has not really recovered in this game. Big issue for him. And usually somebody like Ace, who we see on these heroes that kind of farm up, like say a Nature's Prophet, he'll sit sometimes towards the top end of the net worth list as well. Like, he's right there with the Abaddon. So the only one you really have kind of having a decent farming game is Quinn at the moment.
Marcy, not the easiest hero to farm with. Most of the time you get gold from fighting, because this hero, you don't not want to pop Unleash just to farm unless it's a really big stack. Also, this is offlane Marcy, so you don't have Battle Fury, which means that it's going to take you longer time to clear the creep wave. Now Noob, playing a bit of a different game. They saw Gaimin Gladiators grouping around on the mid lane, while TA2000 will finish off full butterfly. Needs another 40 gold.
Yeah, it gets close to that finished item with the fact that he took that top tier 2, so that opened up the outpost to be taken here, and well, they are starting to retreat back. They've got a couple of heroes nearby. Ace is going to go with the blink as well as the dispose.
Nice
good job
dodge.
avoiding that bushwhack with the snowball. Kisses in once again. Quinn's locked up with the BKB top tier by the Lestrak going in on a TA2000, but he has a BKB of his own. Dream Coil on a 3. They'll take out as there goes Celery, and then goes Tofu. So they are losing heroes by the wayside as Doraccio trying to run in with the borrowed time, but there's still just not enough damage coming from this
That's a full
Abaddon.
team wipe incoming.
Quinn trying to TP out. Oh, just gets away, but Doraccio not so fortunate. And 4 heroes dead on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, and Ooredoo Thunders keep it clean.
Omar did use a buyback. If he wanted, he could have gone for Lestrak instead of going for that support. But yeah, very clean execution from OT. Drow Ranger completely uncontested. TA2000, he was thinking about getting a different item. This butterfly increases his damage by quite a lot and also does not allow... Like, it could sound weird, but getting Butterfly into Lestrak, but then again, you're playing into Marcy, playing into Abaddon. He does not want to get hit. And both of these cores instantly queuing up MKBs. They need somehow to be able to deal with those, with that evasion coming out from Drow Ranger's Butterfly.
Yeah, so they need to be able to kill off TA2000. He popped that BKB. He was untouched in that fight, kept it pretty clean. And honestly, Noob did too. The 3-man Dream Coil, like everything worked out for them. Now all of a sudden, they're up 5,000 net worth on a Gaimin Gladiators lineup that isn't exactly finding a recovery mode.
Definitely not. I feel like Ooredoo Thunder, they need to mess up 2-3 fights in a row to be able to throw this game. Because so far, and I don't think they're going to do it, because so far the execution has been on point. You have so much sustain. You have this mech. You have full pipe and another Glimmer Cape plus Soul Rip that we mentioned and a Holy Locket. Item that we usually don't see, but items are starting to even pile up on Undying. This is position 5 Undying. IO going for the same item build pretty much.
Ooh. They have some vision on these heroes, and, well, Celery's going to pop the mech. They go to the Mortimer's Kisses. They'll take the IO. Quinn's going to have to fight for his life, and, well, now deciding against it as he pops the BKB and TP's out. Losing that IO very early on. There's just nothing he could do, especially with the rest of the team nowhere nearby.
It seems like Gaimin Gladiators will need another set of items to take these fights. Mostly 2 MKBs and another big item on Quinn, which is coming out relatively shortly, but it's not going to come on time for them to be able to contest this Roche.
Yeah, another Roche going free for OT, and that's going to be another Aegis on TA2000. They've also got the Shard now on the ground, and we'll see who picks that up, because this Drow already has that. You really want to get that early on, so you've got yourself that hypothermia damage coming out, especially in the closed-in engagements that they've been having with Gaimin Gladiators, and I'm still curious to see who picks up the Shard, because they kind of just left it there. Does everybody? No. I was going to say, does everybody have Shard? They just left it?
Sometimes you forget. They're like, we're winning against major winners. Let's see if someone's going to go inside the Roche pit. Who could be the one? Marcy could destroy it. That's the one I like, because she does not want to pick it up. IO, definitely the one that could benefit a lot from it, especially when playing with Lestrak, and also Abba, if he somehow manages to get inside the Roche pit.
Yeah, he's all the way back at base at the moment.
And he also doesn't have Miss Coil, so
Yeah.
well, we'll need to put a point in it.
Eventually. Somebody's gonna wander upon this, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe I have this. Dream Coil BKB, getting out of that Dream Coil immediately. Ace is gonna try and run away while TA2000 takes the top tier 3, or attempts to. They've got the Hex finished on Quinn. He's gonna blink on in. They've got the Hex going through with the Bushwhack coming out, but the Snowball save is there.
He's
That's
full
going in on
HP.
a creep out of the high ground, but they need to deal with the fact that TA2000 just isn't taking any damage. Waning Rift on the 2 that's out of the IO, as well as the Hoodwink. They'll back up back into their base, and, well, Ooredoo Thunders, not really a scratch on them.
Didn't pop a BKB, it was only a snowball. Flash Golem was used. You see the Plus Tombstone, of course, but nothing too valuable. They're going to continue to siege with TA-2000 once the tower falls. This was the first initiation with the Hex, so next time it's not going to be as surprising for Ooredoo Thunders.
And they already dealt with it so easily. Going over and getting an Arcane Rune is Zeracho, but still not going into the Roche pit to check out if there is that shard. Not that he would be aware of something like that. Bottom lane, you've also got Ace pushing, so not the full team here for the side of Gaimin Gladiators, and they're electing to allow the top lane to just go down. They don't really feel comfortable fighting into this Aegis, knowing that, well, they've seen it before. Omar can get that save pretty easily with the Snowball.
They do lack control. They can't really control Drow Ranger. They also don't have enough control for Puck, and Puck, after seeing him picking up that Aegis, decides to get Eon Disc instead, so we'll be able to get multiple round of spells. Drow Ranger, level 21, that level, like, her talents are so insanely good. Level 15, level 10, and then you get to level 25, the damage. And he also decided to go for Linken's. I guess the only ability that he is afraid of is pretty much getting disposed by Marcy.
Yeah, so...
And now with the Hex, of course. Like, the Hex is going to be pretty big. He didn't know what he's going to go for, kind of preemptively decided to go for it. So TA-2000 having a pretty good read what's going to come out.
Bushwhack. Again, they've got 4 staffs, they have Snowball, they have the saves. So they'll still be okay, and they go back. Like, he's full health again, and he's just ready to stand his ground.
They don't even need a shard from Roche to finish off this game. They do still have a minute and a half left of that Aegis. Quinn trying to land a stun. Will do so.
Will it matter? Multi-shot comes in, lands on a 3. They go to the Hex once again. Still a minute and a half on this Roche, our Aegis. And they just continue to land stuns, and TA-2000 continues to do damage to the towers. There it goes.
Uses multi-shot, instantly kills the creep wave. Someone needs to be outside of the base because they're not getting too much. They're going to get out-farmed right now, controlling the jungle. I like this play. Let's see what they're going to get out from it. Someone maybe needs to TP.
For the Drow.
Someone might need to TP bottom to look like they're not going to go for anything, that they're done with it. But DD Drow, as you said.
It's going to be a lot of damage. Quinn out of the base. Uh-oh, that's a day to Shrek.
He does not have buyback.
Uh-oh.
He needs some extra gold. Needs 200 gold. There is one rune to be picked up, but it's not going to be enough. So this is going to be another set of barracks. There is still tier 2 tower available. Let's see if they want to go for a push. Maybe 30 seconds left. 50 seconds for Leshrac. And TA-2000 forcing himself very aggressively.
They're relocating to cut the creep wave, but that allows them to set up on Celery on the way back and just kill him. Like, this is all OT right now, and they're not being stopped. Like, nothing is getting in their way, and I mean, if I'm Gaimin Gladiators, I'm probably pretty hesitant about just calling GG and going for that last fight. They go to the BKB, but a lot of that duration is going to be used with the Walrus Punch coming in. So now he's in trouble. They get the kill to Omar. They take out Ori. They've got themselves 2 kills.
They got
go
the bash.
for the Drow. They've got the bash. Can they get the kill to TA-2000? They'll follow it up with a stun, and they do get themselves 3.
Heavy commitment. This is double buyback from Gaimin Gladiators. Let's see what they're going to be able to do. There is no Roche. Maybe they can try to take a tier 2 tower. First, they're going to retake the outpost, but the next time OT goes for a push, if they manage to find Leshrac one more time, he's going to be dead for a very, very long time. It's going to give them enough time for actually to close out the game. Because without Leshrac, their damage output is very limited. They need another set of items. They need this MKB.
Nope.
Let's see the silence.
Never mind. There's still a shard in Roche. So if they go to, like, check Roche, they're going to be shocked. All of a sudden, though, get a little bit of net worth. Still looking to build that MKB, Quinn.
Very close yet so far.
They've got Tofu. Something to eat, something to kill. They're going to go for Noob. They've got that
No
X.
Eon Disc.
They've got the stun. They'll get the kill. That's not worth it, Noob. They will take out this puck for 90 seconds.
Yeah, take that, noob. Abba.
That's
now
going to line up with Roche potentially respawning.
Yeah, Abba got a lot of gold from that one. So right now he does have Enchanted Quiver, so that's True Strike coming out from him, and also Monkey King Bar going into Basher next. If Gaimin Gladiators can hold for another couple of minutes, MKB's finished on Marcy. Leshrac, he needs some kind of a armor item. Just a casual plate mail will do the trick. Playing against the Drow Ranger, you saw how immediately he I mean, it was DD Drow Ranger, but still.
So this net worth lead was 10K. They hold, they get a couple of kills, it's 3K. Now they go for Ace, bring it back to 5,000, but Quinn's gonna go in. He's got the Hex, it's on a TA2000. They land the stun, it's gonna be on Omar. They're going in deep. Fire Snap Cookie, that stun's gonna land on the Abaddon. They go to the Scatter Blast. Quinn taking a lot of damage with the high ground from TA2000. They've got the damage to get the kill on the track. The look over Duraccio, the borrow time's just not gonna be enough to get more than just Corey. The positioning is just perfect here from TA2000, and they will take out this Abaddon.
TA2000, GG, well played in the old chat. While he's attacking, he types miss, accidentally uses it, and now with 80 seconds, no Leshrac, 69 seconds without Eba, nice, but he's gonna be able to respawn because he does have buyback available. This Hurricane Pike, TA2000, having a perfect game, only managed to die once.
Yeah, perfect positioning, just right on the edge of the cliff.
7,000 damage done. No Leshrac for 60. Abba needs to buy back immediately.
So buyback comes in, that tier 4 is down. The throne will be exposed. Can they finish off the game? 4v5. No tree there for you, Tofu. Creeps are coming in, right clicks from TA2000. They need to make the jump. Duraccio pushing in. Pops the Manta. Really just trying to force them to fight by hitting their throne.
Oh my god, look at that damage.
The damage so quick. Just out of the Abaddon again, the borrow time's going to be forced, and he's going to have to run back to base. Hunter's Boomerang, Ace goes in with the Unleash, but they've got themselves the Walrus Punch with the BKB duration, but the right-click damage is going to be more than enough to get the kill on Ace. They're going to relocate in the fight. They'll go after him. So he's going to be caught up and killed off. TA2000 gets himself a triple kill. They'll call GG, and Ooredoo Thunders will take the first game off of Gaimin Gladiators in this tour. The major champions do fall for just the first game so far.
I believe Gaimin Gladiators were on.